Hey, all my worthy viewers, it's me, JD, your Viewmaster, and this is Worth a View Movies. And today we're talking about a new Netflix film, and it's called Concrete Cowboy. And to bring this movie to the chatting with you is Rob from Robbie's Reviews. Take it away, Rob.
Hello, Justin. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed by this movie, sadly. It wasn't Idris or Caleb's fault. They put on good performances. And the concept of like a modern Western was good, but I feel like they didn't execute it very well. They should have written it a lot better, make it a bit more interesting, make it a bit more kind of engaging. I don't know, I just kind of felt like it was a bit too slow and bland at places. And and Idris wasn't in it that much too. So yeah, sorry, Justin. I'm gonna have to probably give this, as you would say, a W and a half.
W and a half. Okay, well, that's fair. This is a movie about a teenager who discovers the world of urban horseback riding when he moves to his estranged father in North Philadelphia. To see what I think about this movie, head over to YouTube now, which I also, unfortunately, have to give it a W and a half because I was a little disappointed in this film. You're right, Idris Elba is just not in it enough. You know, his son Cole is played by Caleb McLaughlin. Is the main focus here. You know, he in the beginning of the movie he gets into a fight and his mom gets called and she has to pick him up from school and she's just fed up with him and so she sends him to his father in Philadelphia, who's Idris Elba, who's this cowboy, this urban cowboy in Philadelphia, which is like a real place. And he takes care of these horses and these stables here. And the first interaction that him and his son have is actually pretty powerful. Uh, he's like, I want to leave, and he goes, okay, well, if you leave, that door stays locked until morning, so that means you'll be out in the streets until morning. And that's just really sets the tone of how these two are going to start interacting with each other, which is there's no there's no pussyfooting around stuff. It's just this is the way it is. This is the way it's going to be. You either need to be my rules or you're out. How did you feel the dynamic between Idris and Caleb were?
I'm not really sure because I felt like they could have had a much better dynamic together. I mean, they do suit father and son.
Right. Yeah, we did see that. Um, I really enjoyed the neighbor Nessie. I thought she was a fun character, and she's so sweet. One of the things, because obviously or Cole doesn't want to live under the father's rules, so he kind of leaves and he asks Nessie to stay with him, and she's like, "No, I already pray for too many boys on this street, and now my list just got longer, so I need to get some rest," because she wanted to pray for him. I thought that was a really powerful moment, and we got to really see who Nessie was from deep down.
Yeah, definitely. She was a good character. She was probably one of the only characters I liked in the film.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because what we also have here is the side story. So Cole gets caught up with his old friend Smush. Smush is, they don't really say that he's a drug dealer, or we don't even really know what he's doing. But what we do know is that he does shady business on the streets. And, Idris Elba doesn't want Cole out there with Smush because he knows how Smush is and what he's getting up to, and he doesn't want his son to follow in these same sort of footsteps. Did you like Jarrell Jerome as Smush?
He was good, and coming on to the subject, I kind of see where they're coming from because obviously I don't know whether you've had this in the past, but I've kind of hung out with the wrong crowd at times, and obviously I don't. And obviously, when I have children, I don't really want them to hang out with the wrong crowd. Have you ever managed? Have you ever hung around with the wrong crowd at some point?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been influenced by others, and have gone down a path like that. But it's hard because you do they are he's still a friend to Cole, and these people are still kind of friends. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really count on them, but they still give us something in the friendship arena that really means something to us, which is why we kind of keep going back to them. So it is unfortunate that happens, but also Smush was the only one in Cole's eyes that was there for him during this time. Um, and so he just thought that he's being a good friend to him.
Yeah, yeah. Like I have my obviously best friend, and I always he's always there for me no matter what. And that's obviously a bit obviously you have a best friend, don't you? And
Yeah,
unfortunately, the
absolutely.
same relationship with him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can talk about anything, and if I need something, go to him or whatever. Um, okay, one more person I want to talk about in this film is Method Man as Leroy, who's also the sheriff. What did you think about Method Man as the sheriff in this
He was okay.
movie? It's kind of a joke, actually. He's fine, but it's so interesting that that's the casting that they chose, you know. But what I did like was that there was a black sheriff. There's, this is in this whole community, it's all black people. Every single person is black, including the sheriff, which is great. I really like that because obviously later in the movie we do see his backup, and they are white cops. And had they been there during the other times that Leroy was around, it would have been different stories. And we know how that goes, especially from the year 2020 and
Yes,
all the stuff that
definitely.
happened there. Yeah. So it was interesting to see that, and I really enjoyed that. What about this? These people in this movie were actual people. They're not even actors. They actually work at the stables in Philadelphia today, in North Philadelphia. They even mentioned how 5 blocks away there's hipsters and latte drinkers down there, but they have no clue that 5 blocks this way is the stables and this community of people. What do you think about that?
I kind of like it when they use unknown actors and like real people with experiences because it kind of really fits the parts.
Yeah, absolutely. And her and Cole's relationship seemed kind of real and unique, because it was a real person with an actor. That was super interesting. We don't really see that much.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Um, Yeah, at the end of the movie they do show the real people and how they're not actors and such. One of the guys said that because of this stable it kept him out of trouble. He doesn't have a felony on his record, and it really helped him. And I think that's what this movie is pretty much what it's saying is you get a second chance, right? Cole got a second chance, and his second
Yeah,
chance was to not get into trouble. But again, he just wanted to get into trouble. But the stables is what, because we do see it's a coming of age tale. So we do see him start to come around and really adjust to the life where he's at, and he loves the horses, and there's a whole situation where the horse, the horses may be in some trouble. But no, I think that it's true that if that there's things out there that will keep you from getting into trouble, and you don't have to hang around the wrong sort of people, but get into a right group and in something that interests you. It's kind of like what we do here, like with Worth View Movies and Robbie's film reviews. It's like Robbie's reviews and the Fleming Film Podcast. It's like we have a community, and it keeps us out of trouble.
exactly, exactly.
So unfortunately, you and I just didn't like this movie enough. It does have a 6.0 on Rotten Tomato or on IMDb, and a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, 67% on Metacritic. So it's getting decent reviews, um, but I think it just missed a little. It is produced by Lee Daniels, who did the United States versus Billie Holiday, um, and also directed by Ricky Staub, who has done movies like nothing else. So he's like an actor, really. Yeah, he directed the movie The Cage, but I mean, he hasn't done anything else really. Uh, but yeah, so it's on Netflix right now. You can go check it out. People are liking it, but Rob and I have the same sort of consensus where we, like Idris and we want to see more of him. The movie just kind of felt a little flat, maybe a little boring in parts. I did like the colors in this. They used a lot of brown and natural lighting. And I also enjoy the title. Concrete Cowboy is a really cool name, and it really explains a lot and tells you what the story is. Oh, and by the way, the last bit of trivia, the Cowboy, when they were talking about how the name Cowboy came to be was super powerful. Me saying that it used to be cowhand, but when black people came around and were slaves, white people called them boy. So they just became cowboys. And whether that's true or not, I don't know. But it was interesting to learn in the film, and I thought that was good enough for me. And this, yeah, little Worth of You movies has gone on longer than most, but that's okay. Yeah, go check out Concrete Cowboy. It's out on Netflix. It's definitely worth at least the one view. And Rob, where can they find you?
Just type in Robbie's reviews on Google. It will probably be the first or second page that comes up. Also, make sure to check out my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and obviously my TikTok, Robbie's First Time Takes.
Yes, those are always a lot of fun. Plus the Fleming Film Podcast, where you and I do a lot of chat about movies. Recently, we just did our 2000s Best Picture countdown, where we
Yep.
count down our favorites from Gladiator to Hurt Locker. And we also have the Razzies coming up real soon. So be looking forward to that. You can find me of here and all of the places that you found us. Yeah, until next time, thanks for joining me, Rob.
It's all right, Justin. Thank you for letting me join.
Of course. And yeah, we'll see you next time here at Worth of You Movies.
Awesome. See you in a bit.